we're going to look at three things right off the bat. We're going to look at choosing the right sketchbook. I'm going to show you materials and tools that you might use in your sketchbook. And last, and this is probably most important, is setting up your sketchbook, okay? Setting up your sketchbook or layouts that you might use in your sketchbook that will really help give you some sense of direction. Okay, so let's jump right into the first point of choosing the right sketchbook. All right, so in front of you here, what I have, let me move some of these things out of the way. I have a variety of sketchbooks that I have used in the past, and there's different sizes. For example, let's go over some of these. So this little sketchbook right here is one that you would find. What size is this? This is a 3.5 by 5 inch sketchbook. And the benefits of this is that I could hold it, and very easily I could just open it up and just draw on every single page. Okay, I like this. So that's one size. Then you can move up into other size. This must be like a 5 by 7. Okay, 5 by 7. And once again, you can just see it's. I'll go over what this is in just a second, but you can see that it has a spiral O bounding on the side. So does this small sketchbook. All right. Here's another one up here. Let me show you this. This is a little bit of a toothy cover to it, right? And once again, you can see that, so it's very, very similar. Wire O bounding. I'll talk about this one as well. All right. Over the years, I've come to the conclusion, for me personally, I like the wire O's because they lay flat. They lay flat, okay? And I'll move that out of the way up here. Move this over here as well. All right, here's another version that you could get. Now this, I've picked these up at a Michael's, and these are really cheap. These are just they're just super, super cheap. And you could see that over time, like in this orange one here, the binding has broken quite a bit. So this is why I do not like hardbound sketchbooks. The bindings break over time. I mean, they're interesting to look at, but if you want to keep them for any length of time, that is something you have to deal with. I also think that a lot of times large sketchbooks, I wouldn't go any larger than this right here. This is, let's see, what size is this here? This is a 9 by 12. So this must be like a 10 by 8 or something like that. Or it might be 8.5 by 11. So I wouldn't go any larger than an 8.5 by 11. My ideal size is going to be more in this range here, like a 5 by 7, a 6 by 9. I probably wouldn't go any bigger than a 6 by 9 because there's something incredibly satisfying that when you can fill up a sketchbook, especially if you're a beginner or an intermediate artist. Once you get the custom of drawing all the time, you could go bigger, but filling up a sketchbook is extremely satisfying. Okay, so that's choosing the right sketchbook. So I recommend using a wire O. And by the way, if you don't mind, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, take a second and do that. And on a side note, it is today's date is July 29th. And if you happen to see this, we are going to be starting a 100-day drawing challenge. Starts in just a couple days. It starts August 1st. I will put a link in the comment section. Join us, and I think that will really be a great use for your sketchbook. All right, there's my little ad for you. All right, so we looked at choosing the right sketchbook. Let's talk about materials now. All right, let me grab. Okay, here. This is a fine. We'll use this as an example. Okay, let me move this out of the way here. Okay, so choosing the right sketchbook, we got that. One thing, here's an interesting one. This is wire O binding like I like, but it also has like a perf. So if you happen to draw a picture that you really like, you can just kind of bend it and tear it out. So this is a real nice feature as well. Some of these others don't have that perf. So you end up having to tear them out if you're going to. All right. Materials. Let's talk about that. Let me bring up this one as well here. I think, yeah. So in this example, the small one here, let's talk about one of the first materials that I like to use is a Bic pencil, okay? What's great about this is it's super cheap. You could get this at any store, like grocery store or something like that. And it's great because you could just click the back of it, just like this, and you could quickly grab your lead. You see that? And if you break it, you just kind of move on, all right? Now, the leads come in a couple different weights. There's a 0.5 and a 0.7. I don't know which one's softer, but you could see that it will always keep a sharp line. So here's an example. I'm going to spin this around just for a second. Here's an example that I was just kind of drawing some quick little heads, all right? This is my small sketchbook. So this is the use of a Bic mechanical pencil. That's one idea. Another great thing that you could use, of course, is a Bic ballpoint pen. And I say Bic because the thickness, you could get a real solid line, or you could draw it lightly with a light touch. So you could get a lot of variation with a ballpoint pen. Some people would say, "Oh my gosh, Kurt, I can't do that." Well, you actually, if you get used to using a ballpoint pen, you could kind of draw lightly. Let's just say if we were going to draw a box here, I could draw a box lightly like this. Very lightly touching the paper. And then once I have it, now I can really go in and sharpen up some of these lines. So a Bic medium ballpoint pen is another thing I like to use. All right. And I'm going over all the inexpensive tools I like the best. So let me come over here now. All right, here's another one. And you can buy these anywhere. This is a Crayola. Can I get that in the light there? Look at that. This is a Crayola colored pencil. Now, I'm not like super excited about the colored pencil itself. I don't care about the colored pencil. What I really like is how soft the lead is. You see, I can come in here and get a soft, light touch, and then I could go in here with a much darker line. All right. So you really are using just the lightness of your touch to get something darker here. Here's a black one. Again, light touch, pushing down will give me that much darker line there. All right. There's 4 materials right there for you. This is interesting. This is a refillable brush pen, okay? And you could buy these at any art store, and you could fill the back with like water and then add a little India ink. Boy, I haven't used this in a long time, so I don't know what's going on with it. So it probably needs to be emptied out and refilled because nothing's coming out, or it's just pure water right now. But this is a great little resource to have, like a gray back here, you see? Then you can quickly drop some shadows in place. So we have all that. This is another possibility. This is a 2B pencil by Artist Loft, but this is called a woodless pencil, you see? So you can, the whole entire edge here is kind of there's no wood on it, so that gives you a lot of option. The only thing I don't like about graphite and Bic pencils is that it will smear just a little bit. So it's just something you have to keep in mind, but you can erase it. So that's a nice feeling. All right, what else do I have here? Okay, let's get into color just a little bit. This is a little Winsor Newton watercolor dish. Look at it. It's this. It could fit in my hand. I have all these different variety of colors here, and all you need to do is get a bucket of water or a thing of water, and you could just dab in some color here. Put it in here. Let's see what happens. Look at this. Look at this little. Let's come to this girl right here in this sketchbook. So here's a sketch. I don't know when I did it. I did it a long time ago. And if you have a brush on hand and a little watercolor tray, look at that. You could quickly just drop in a little color, you see? Just like that. To try and get a different look to it, right? I put it right into my sketchbook. So there you go, bam. A little, a brush and some watercolor, I think goes well. All right, last thing that you could go with, and I don't have it up here with me, is I notice a lot of times people will use markers. So, you could use a marker to darken an area. You could get like a cool gray number 3 marker per se, or a warm gray 3 marker. And that, you could quickly drop in some tone that way as well. Okay, so that right there are some tools that you could use for your sketchbook. What I would recommend is get a Bic pencil, get a ballpoint pen, okay? I would try a Crayola pencil, and I'd get yourself a small bit of watercolor. And on that note, look at this here. Here is just another watercolor tray, all right? So it could be anything. It's just a great way to add color. All right, so we've looked at choosing the right sketchbook. We've gone over different tools that you can use. Here's another one. As I'm thinking out this out loud, you could even get like some Post-it notes. And if you do something you don't like, you could just kind of take the Post-it note, put it in place there, and then let's just say like, oh, I wanted to give this hair curl here, right? So I might do something like that. You see? And then even on this is what makes a sketchbook interesting, is I could even add this is a Post-it note. Oh, I'm going to add a little color to it. So what I want you to do is have the freedom to use. Not be afraid of using a variety of different tools. Now, the one tool I haven't showed you is an eraser. And since I began, I really tried to avoid using an eraser. I do maybe 10 to 20% of the time, but I've generally tried to avoid it. Instead, I've tried to practice drawing lightly, and then going in darker once I'm confident of what I want to do. All right, so there's some tools. All right, next, what time is it? I don't want this to go on forever. Okay, next, let's keep going here. So the last thing is setting up. This is the most important. Get your note paper, get your notepad out, because I'm going to show you this. If this is what you are here for, it's setting up your sketchbook, okay? So let's do this. Let me use, is there blank pages in this one? Let me just double check. Have to go to the end here. All right, perfect. We'll use this one here as an example. Get this right in screen so you can see it. Okay. And I'm going to use my ballpoint pen to demonstrate this. All right. So let's just say you have your sketchbook here. It's wide open. All right. Let's make this interesting. What I want you to do is I want to have you think of how you would do layouts. Okay. So over here, pretend like this right here. Pretend like that is your sketchbook. All right. Your sketchbook is open here. And I want you to think of like you're laying out these pages with an intent to it. All right. So let's say on this page right here, what you could do on this page right here is you could draw a gigantic picture that goes edge to edge. All right. So there's my giant picture that fills this whole space. And then over on this side, you might just draw one small picture. Okay? So that's one layout idea. And I would even like put these someplace that you can refer to them as a cheat sheet almost. Great thing about these layouts too is you can, let's go with, we'll call this number 2. There's the center. You could reverse them. So you could have a small picture here and then a giant picture on this side here. Look at that. All right, so these are reversible. All right, here's another one, number 3, right? Here's another 3 layout that you could do. This is the center of it, okay? You could come in here, divide it, and then have a big picture here, small picture here, small picture here, and then you have another big picture here. And then you could reverse it. Maybe you have a small object here. Maybe over here you have a giant panoramic. And then maybe another object up there. All right, here's 5. Here's a 5th layout. What if you came over here and you were going to draw a bunch of objects? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 objects here. And then you took one of those objects and then let's just say it was, I don't know why my head's on a clothespin. I don't even know what I'm doing right now. Is that a clothespin? Something like that maybe, right? And so you can see here, these could be all different types of tools, small little tools that you've drawn, and then one big one over here. Number 6. Oh, this is a great one. Look at this. What if you, on a layout, did a giant picture that went all the way across the entire sketchbook? And then you flip to the next page, and then you only put maybe one object that went across the binding, something like this. So as the person looking at the sketchbook, they would see this massive picture from side to side, and then they would come down here and get this individual picture right just like that. And you might even, let's see, 7, that's 7 layouts. Here's number 8. You might even just have a layout like this and you just put a single object on that entire picture there. Oh, here, let me show you this. Oh yeah, this is a good one. I'm going to show you this sketchbook because I think I do a lot of these ideas in this. Okay, yep, let me show this to you. So let me slide this over here. I'm going to put this over here so you can see it. And when I was when I was teaching, all right, so there you go. That is number 3, setting up your sketchbook. Come up with some interesting layouts that you can use. And here's 8 different ones that you can manipulate and change. All right, now let me show you how these actually get implemented in some examples. So this was interesting. I found this sketchbook at the university that I was teaching at one point, and they made some prisoners or something, I don't know what it was, made these sketchbooks. So let me walk you through some of the pages of this sketchbook that I found. First of all, look at that paper. It's awesome, right? So here's one where I just sketched on one side, turn the pager over, and now I've done a full drawing across the whole center here, okay? All right, let's turn the page here. What do we get next? Boom, look at that. I just eliminated and just put one drawing down here, creating contrast between this and this. Okay, right over here, I was drawing some little like super little teeny ray guns. 2 here and then 1 over here. That makes it a very interesting sketchbook. Over here, I painted this whole side here with poster, like some type of ink. I don't know what it was. It's been a long time. And then just drew a portrait over here. Here's a full picture, all right, of an ocean and then a sailboat over here. Just don't think so much of what I'm drawing, but I want you to think more of layout here, okay? Look, here's a single person. This goes from full picture to a single picture. Again, full picture, portrait across it. And then look at this one here. This was from wall to wall. It was some type of like architectural scribblings that I did here. Okay, here's a single, and then here's a flat of a person. Here's a phone, old telephone, and then some type of stairs, a telephone pole. Just, again, I want you to think of layout in this. And then, well, let me show you this. Look, I have this line, single line going. It comes up here to the page. You flip it over, and then it connects to this spaceman with with wings. I have no idea what I was thinking. And then at the end, I kind of tried to sign it with a fancy kind of way. All right? All right, I'm going to close this up here. I'll put this aside. And let me show you this one here. This was, okay. So here's an example of when my wife and I would go on a vacation, I would sit there and draw different things of where we were staying. So, this is like a full-bleed picture of the room that they were serving breakfast in or something like that. And then on this page, here is a picture, and this was done with marker actually, of lemonade or water. Here is a basket of fruit. Now this one, look, I keep drawing my pictures to the right. Flowers, all done with markers. And I'm just kind of going through this just to kind of show you some ideas. Look, here's some early days when I didn't really know how to draw portraits. So I just would put a little circle here and look at that. See, even I started off beginning. Oh, here at the time we went to Jamaica. So I painted this with a little bit of watercolor. Here was here were some ideas of drawing a mermaid. Oh yeah, I like this one here. We were eating breakfast one morning, and there was this black bird jumping around. So here are a bunch of little drawings I did of this black bird. But key is, look, it's kind of laid out in small little pictures. See? We went camping to a place called Ricketts Glen, and I used a frame. Okay, which let's come back to this right here. All right, so I'm going to open this up. So we've done eight drawings here. So here's another way that you can use your sketchbook. I'm looking for my, all right, doesn't matter. All right, so there's your page. All right, what you could do, and this drawing of Ricketts Glen reminded me of this. Look, you could do it like a comic book almost. You could have a square here of a picture, right? And then maybe you could put another square, a different size of another picture here. And then you could put a giant picture behind that. Just like they might do in a comic book. And I'm winging it right now, okay? So just bear with me as I wing it a little bit. I'm just trying to give you some ideas. I could draw this whole picture, and then I could take maybe some paint or watercolor, because watercolor is transparent, and I could end up putting an overall tone to make those two pictures pop off. All right, so here's layout number 9. So you could use this same idea and come up with new variations of all of this. Look, over here, you could end up just covering one side with a color, and then maybe this little picture, just like that. You see? Just like that. All right, let's keep going here. Okay, so let's see. What is this? I have no idea what. Oh, that looks like it's rocks, but I have no idea what that is showing. But you could. It's important though. I want to show you how messy it could get. Okay, and how sometimes you'll draw something and it won't make any sense whatsoever. Look, here is somebody. Here is a quick gesture of somebody that was standing in our campground. All right, another quick drawing here. Okay, look at this. Here's some quick gestures of people just sitting. All right, here's a full picture, quick picture of mountains. And this was done, believe it or not, with a carpenter's pencil from like Home Depot. Okay. All right, let me put that aside. Hopefully this is helping you a little bit. Let me show you this now. Oh, let me show you. All right. So here's an old sketchbook, and I was in a class, a world building class, where we had to draw a world. And we started off with a map. So I was trying to think of how am I going to organize this sketchbook. And there were some pages I left blank because I wanted to come back. But look at this. Here is a series of quick little sketches of what some of these little places might look like. And you could see like they're in different sizes. Some of them make sense. Some of them don't make sense. Large, small. And these are all done with a mechanical pencil. Small little vignettes of what possible pictures might look like. Then I got into some quick sketches of animals. I mean, these are just rough ideas here. Full bleed picture, just a quick sketch. Here's some designs of bugs. But look at the layout here. That's what's key is keeping your layout. Here's a panoramic with some individual callouts, you see? Here was this one took a while, but you could get the idea. It would start off with pencil. Look, brown pencil over here. Probably a Crayola pen. And then I just took a black marker, felt tip marker, and filled in the rest. All right, so I've got a couple sketchbooks. I don't want to keep showing you the sketchbooks because here's a couple others. Because I want you to think of layout wise. Okay, that's really what I want you to look. Here are some little quick doodads of some Star Wars fun characters. If you know this guy, this is Bosk. Here's some ideas for, look, this is how I sketch sometimes, just using a pencil. You know, this is a very basic armature or basic body. You could dress up in different outfits. All right, well, this is a good example. This is, look, furniture on this side, just random. Single head on this side, you see? All right, we'll put this stuff away. So ultimately what I want you to remember is I want you to choose the right sketchbook. I want you to think of spiral bound. I want you to think of getting the right materials, and that's wide open. It's more convenience than anything else. But what I think is most important is work on your layouts. Here's a little tab here. You can, because you stayed to the end, look at all these other extra little layout ideas I had up here. Okay. Hey, I'm going to keep this short and sweet. Thanks for watching, everyone. My name is Kurt. I'm a dad who draws. If you haven't already, sign up for a 100-day drawing challenge. It's going to be excellent. It starts August 1st. And if you sign up for it, you're going to get a free class as well. It's basics to brilliance. Okay? So 3 tips for how to use a sketchbook. Thanks for watching, everyone. Go out there. Make your day great. Bye-bye.